Think back to a time in your childhood when your mother or father was pleased with something you did. Maybe it was when you accomplished something great. Perhaps you received an A in a difficult class at school, or maybe you scored the winning goal for your little league team. How did it feel knowing that they were pleased with you? For a child, there is almost no better feeling in the world. Despite the challenges of online education during the pandemic, my son Christian was able to graduate college with a degree in engineering. Even as far back as elementary school, he had been granted awards for his character and integrity. My heart swells with pride over all that he has achieved. But even more than his achievements, I have always been pleased with Christian's demeanor, patience, and care for others. My love and admiration for him have never been dependent on what he has accomplished, but on who he is. As a parent, you would shudder at the thought that your children might have received the message that there was a cost involved in earning your pleasure for them. The Gospel according to Matthew records one of the most remarkable events in the New Testament, the Transfiguration of Christ. What we witness is a special moment of great fatherly love, a moment where we see the prototype for all parental pleasure. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." The 3 disciples were understandably impressed and overcome with awe over the sight of Jesus' transfiguration, as well as the appearance of Moses and Elijah. But the Father wanted to communicate to them something far more important than the spectacle they had just witnessed. The Father's message to the disciples was about how he felt towards his son. Not just that he was proud of him, but well pleased. This goes beyond a normal sense of pride where a parent says, "Yep, that's my boy," or "that's my girl." The Father wanted the disciples to know what kind of love existed between him and his son. Moses was there representing the law. Elijah was there representing the prophets. One to tell you what to do, and the other to inform you of what happens when you don't do what you are supposed to do. But they disappeared, and only Jesus is left with the disciples. Listen to him, the Father tells us. Follow the one in whom I am well pleased. In other places, we learn the Father is pleased with those who follow the Son and in whom the Son lives. That's us. We didn't just die with Christ, but we rose with him, and we are included in the Father's love for him. Jesus tells us the Father loves us just as he loves him. What belongs to the Son also belongs to us. That includes the Father's good pleasure. May the Father's great love for us take root in our hearts today, and may we see ourselves as the beloved children in whom the Father takes great pleasure. Mi nombre es Ever Ticas, hablando de vida.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode of Speaking of Life. We hope you enjoyed it and were inspired.
For GCI devotional content, subscribe to our bi-monthly newsletter, GCI Update.
Visit update.gci.org to get the newest issue.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.